Welcome back to another episode. So, no, it's been a little while, but I've had things in the way. I've had life, I've had work, and I've had all that sort of things. But I've not actually been neglecting the world, so that's something. I've basically been setting myself up for success, if I can say that right. But I've been doing the cliche. I did some mining off camera to make sure that I thrive, and this is the results of what I did. So I was focusing on just trying to get to iron level, just so that I did it, and I feel like that is very successful. I don't need to do much more now for mining for materials. With firms that I've got set up as well for like things like the this kind of stuff. You know, I'm set up pretty well for them. But that all wasn't what I was doing. I was doing a little bit of this. Ah, I was doing a little bit of that. Uh, uh, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh no, oh no. Oh, there it is. There it is. Ah! Mm, mm. Ah, I forgot he does this. Ah. I got him. I got him. Yeah, then never. I don't have any torches. Get out. Get out. Ooh, diamond. Get out. Which means we now have never stars. So that's a positive. It means we can now get beacons, which means we can level up our game. As you can see, I've got a chest set up for beacons. We've been doing a lot of wither fights in between the time. So what does that mean? Well, you can see I have all the active effects from beacons because I have 6 beacons here. I have 6 beacons there. I've got 6 beacons there and 6 beacons there. They don't reach all the way through. I could possibly put them halfway and reduce the amount that I have, but yeah, I've been doing a lot of wither fights off camera to get this many, and then just using decent rates and things to get all the emeralds to get them in. An outpost, so we can kill some like raiders. We'll get the alarm bottles, drink them, come over here, set the raid off, and because of all these, raids are gonna be easy as anything. Especially, speed boost, jump boost, strength, regeneration, defense. Basically, you can't get hit. So then that's just gonna be another easier way, even though I don't need them at the minute, but getting Hero of the Village to get a little bit of better prices. I mean, I don't really need them at the minute, but saddles and totems, I've got a plenty, but it just means that this area is a little bit more finished. I also found that I had a slime chunk here. So this is something that, again, I've done off camera, but just as an update, I've lit it up, and now we should get slime spawning and just a bit of passive slime. And finally, we've been doing some building as well. So this part of the island hasn't changed. You'll start to see some changes over here if you know what you're looking at. There's a lot of fog. We're in vibrant visuals now. So it makes it a little bit difficult. So we had the wizard's tower. We had all this kind of stuff. We had this planned out. This is what we're going to show later on. We had the layouts for some buildings, and there's just been some more buildings popping up here and there to make it a little bit more lived in. Most of them follow the same kind of patterns, but we had that one to start off with. We've now got a little white one, we've got a red one, another orc one in the similar style to that one. We've got another one here, which is a bit longer, and then we've just got a little shack up at the top. This is the only one that's probably a little bit different than all of the rest of them. Try to do just an angled roof, and then just put it in with some of the decorations that are around. All of them, they're very limited decorating, but they're all just, like just regular houses that people would live in. All of them have, like these kind of pots and, like everything that we've taken from the last couple of updates. But, like most of them have an upstairs, not much in the upstairs. I still need to put windows or something in some of them, but it's a nice little exit point. But yeah, most of them are just, you're pretty standard, just so that it can fill out the land up a little bit. But yeah, this one's single story, but a lot of bookshelves. It's, there's not much going on in them, just because they are just filler. Next thing that I've got for this is, that's why you can see this is cut out. We're going to have to connect this pathway. It's probably going to go down this way, and then this way, and then maybe down there or into there. But yeah, we've just started filling up the world. Done some lampposts. Not sure if they were in one of the last ones, but yeah, we're filling them in. Still got underfloor lighting and lanterns up at the top, so it's just going to be a very well lit place overall when it's done. One thing that I've got is the Firefly Lushes from one of the last updates. We've got quite a few. We've got some underground as well, so that when it gets to night time, we should get some nice ambience as well around here. I think at the end I will do some shots of the island, like progress day to night, because there are some bits that while I've been doing what I've been doing since we've gone to vibrant visuals, it has made it look a lot nicer. It just really nice lived in feel. There is one place, however, where it's kind of made it a little bit worse, and that's the sea area. So this is something that I might have to rework. So at the time, with the water being just a nice blue, it did look nice, and then that's why I put these. Let's go from the pier unlock. So I did put like the glass around to make it look like a bit like waves. I did put sand, not sand, snow, like snow carpet around the some of it to make it look like when the waves crash. But I think now that the way that vibrant visuals have the water and you can kind of see into the water, I think it's kind of ruined it. And these might need ripping out. And I think at the same time, I might rip all this out. Rob's little shack, that might come out. And I might have to rework the area. Maybe look at some better designs of things and then maybe rework what we're doing there. But that's the whole thing with this island. It's kind of, I'm learning how to do things and learning how to decorate. Some things like these stalls. I love what I've done with these stalls. But this was one of the earlier things that we did, like this whole part. And it's just going to be something that we work. So this is a very traditional, like medieval style. I think it is going for this one. It is what Minecraft does kind of lend itself best into, with everything that it does. So, we've got this nice little village feel, especially with vibrant visuals now, looking at stuff like that. It does make it look very nice. And this is what's going to lead into the next project. So, as you can see, we have the startings of a bridge. So, we have a library planned out, and we have, there's all my materials for what I've been doing so far. Planned it all out in cobble and then started going across with it all. But as you can see, we have the startings of a bridge. Because what I've been doing as well is there's another island. There's another island over here. So what I've done is I've flattened this entire island. So all that, as you can see over there, is on another spit of land. So we do have, if I go all the way up, quite a big space to work with. So this is a lot bigger than that island. So this is going to be a long-term project. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link it, do another thing to here, because what I've done is I've done just a big circle. I hated doing this circle. I could not get it to match up using resources online. I just can't do it. I can't count apparently. But now we have a nice round thing that we can make as kind of arena or something. And then we have, we have just a big space of land for future projects. But this bridge is what I'm going to be focusing on today. View from the ship is the best angle for this one at the moment. So, the first thing that I did with this was make the arches in there, so they're all set to the same length. They're all the same width as well. even these bits at the end that go to like the extra bits of land, we'll figure out how we connect them first. We'll do that last. The last thing I want to do is the actual like decorations and lining of things like that. After the arches, so the second thing is these little towers. So the supports, they go all the way down. I mean, you can potentially see that on there depending on who the compression is. But yeah, so we've done some things. The 5 by 5 squares. So if we get closer to them and go up, so you can see these are 5 by 5 squares, and in between all of them, we have supports in the middle. So everything's the same length. Like these aren't the same length as these, but that's fine. It is still quite a wide bridge, even with these bits in. So I think the next step I'm going to do, because the actual bit on the bridge that you walk on is the least important to me, you know, the most important is we get all these supports, make it look right. I think we're going to fill in these towers. Now, one thing that I've done is the bottom bit. I mean, they're not fully done yet. We need to do the in-betweens, and I think I'm just going to use wall blocks for them. But I have textured between, so these are deep slate. So these are deep slate cracked and regular deep slate bricks, just so that it gives you that extra bit of, you know, like detail and definition and things like that. I might put in a slab or something or two at the bottom, or we might just make it so that, you know, like each one's even, because we do have some that are on different layers. So we might have to just put them all at the same so that they look like they're right. But then I've done the same like I did on like the pier and a couple of other bits. We've done regular stone at the top, but it looks like here, like these are the wet bricks and these are just normal bricks. So, you know, it gives it that extra transition. Even though it's at the same level on everything, when you look from a distance, it just looks like they're wet bricks. So that's something, you know, there's little details that I think elevate it a little bit. But yeah, the next thing is to craft a lot of walls and then fill all these in. And then do the same with cracked bricks along all these, even these taller ones. The taller ones will be something that we go over next. And then once all them are in, we can figure out where we're actually putting this section and doing it, and where the walls are actually going to sit on. But I think once we've got these built in, it gives the bridge, these are like brilliant sturdy foundations for everything. 'Cause even though there's not much to do around that side with the water, this ship is facing that way, so it's like it goes out that way. You can't really see anything other than that around, so it's like it comes in and can come round. What I'm actually going to do is I'm probably going to take out those arches and put in wood. Like, so when I figure out where the actual bridge itself's going, where you walk on, that's when I'll probably take them out and put like wood supports in. So it could be like a bit of a drawbridge, which means ships, if they wanted to, even though they can't, because I'm pretty sure there isn't anything around here that they could get. Like, they can't get through that gap, so I might have to widen that gap to go down canals and stuff. And then over this way, I mean, there's a little bit where they can get to, but ultimately, it's nothing. It's just around this island. I might have to curve into that or something. But, you know, like, story-wise, it just means that they could go through if they wanted to. I'm pretty sure, you know, like, this is probably wider all in all, so it doesn't work as well. But I think it's fair enough away to where you can kind of just get the idea of, oh, it could go that way if you wanted to. But, you know, generally it's that way. But, you know, I think when you look at this from one angle, you go, oh, yeah, no, that'll just go through. So I think the first thing, like I've just said, the first next step anyway, is to just fill in these and maybe think of a decoration to go on top of them. But this is going to be a very stone heavy build, so I'm gonna build them up and then replace some of these bricks with the crack bricks, because we do have a lot of bricks here. We've got chestfuls of everything. Don't have here because I've been, the last thing that I was doing before I actually started to think, you know what, I really should record, is just put these up to these levels. So yeah, I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to replace, oh, I actually still need to replace all those cobble ones with these ones. I'll do that. Then chase out and change some of them from this one to the cracked bricks. Might even get some mossy bricks in the around the bottom bits where you think water will gather around the moss. So maybe if some of these bottom ones will do moss instead of the cracked. And then we will see what it looks like once all this cobble and all these ones are detailed. We have done some bits, and as you can see, we've got a lot of bricks here. Obviously, we don't have the steps yet to go in because I need to do I'm going to replace all these with steps potentially and then do slabs here so it goes down and then up. And then steps onto here. Here is going to be the baseline of the bridge. As you can see, we've got a bit going across there. Not sure about these bits. Think they can potentially be a bit better, even if it's just bring some more of the cracked ones in, or maybe change how it looks out, maybe like a cross or something, and then down. It needs something more, but that's all it's got down on either end. And if you look down here, this is what you can see, what we've done kind of with each. So we've got columns going up, and then we've got walls between here, even under here, there's walls. And then you can see these are where the spots come out. I might take these ones out and have it all flat, but I've just kept them out for now so we can see where we're up to. And then in between every one of them, apart from this end one and the far end one, we have a tough outline and tough kind of center bits to break it all up. And then hopefully each one of these ones along are the same amount of space so we can get the same design on them. I think we might put some houses or something in between there on these. It'll be very nice when it's along. And that brings me on to this middle part. So I said it looks like I need to put a bridge or something in. The way that I thought about doing it is doing this. So it needs lighting up a little bit better up there. As you can see, these ones in the middle are the kind of, go in between. If it was a ship, go in between these. I don't know if that would fit through here, but, it's fair enough a way to make you think it would. But then what we do is we have, it's like wood all the way to the end. This to say that it like hits on top so that you can walk across, or if you've got horse and cart, that can go across. And then a kind of pulley system into the middle of these ones. These ones are the only ones that have ones in the middle, and maybe just make a bit of a lapis roof so it's a nice bit of blue, so it just puts in a bit different. But then all of these underneath, and then it all follows the same pattern here. So you've got your archways with it being supported on top. Some of these ones have fences on in the middle as well, so you've just got that extra support, and then the middle bits where it's on top. So what is next? Well, obviously we need to get these bits in to make that looking nicer. Maybe something in the middle here. Obviously we need things on the top of these. We need bits to strap it off. And then the entrance into this land. Now, again, I've been busy doing wither fights. We've got a bit of a thing for an arena or something here. An entrance that we need to build in. A bit of something to get onto it. Bigger at what we're doing in this area because this is a bigger island. And then think of how we can start joining the two together. We have pretty much the basics of the bridging now, and we have this. If I was looking the right way. So as you can see, I've popped in extra bits on the sides here to make it a bit more defined in. One thing I have noticed when I've removed everything, and I'm going to have to do probably next, is put some stairs in so it's not as right angled on here. Just put a stair in the corner or something so it just makes it that little bit more curved, which will make that a little bit better, because right now, even maybe on the insides as well, like one there and one there, but I mean, you've got light underneath as well. One of the good things here, we're not going to have spawns. We've got lights everywhere underneath it, because it does need lighting on top. Then on top, both sides are the same. So we kind of have some terracottas, some of the glazed terracottas in the corners, then we have normal terracotta, then stone, andesite, and then we have glowstone with then a carpet on top. So we have the bridge finished, and I thought we'll look at it from the ruin side first, And we have this. So as you can see, the bridge goes all the way. We've got buildings on everywhere. The pathway is starting to come along. We've not got it connected up because we need to figure out all the way around the church and things like that. A little sneak peek of next episode. But we've got to think of ways to connect it all on. But yeah, we now have a bridge that goes one end to other end. We have houses all along it. We have decorations, stalls, things like that. What I did is I didn't like the fact that it was fully flat, so we put these little, like, kind of, I don't know how you call them, little just extras on there. Something that I do need to put on there is like some form of chair or like seating arrangement. I think only like one or two have them. Yeah, this one has one. So it's just a kind of nice little area for people that would just, like sit there, have a look at a nice landscape. No matter what side you're on, there is nice views. And there's also a couple of tricks that I've done on here as well, because most of these houses are empty. So a couple of them I did some flooring, put a couple of pictures in there, and that was about it. But there are some little like video game tricks that I've done in there. So this is one of them, where like if you was to, because this is the idea for this is you walk from one end to the other, and that's it. So as you're walking past, you've got some paintings that you just see, and you're looking at this kind of stuff. You're looking at where you're going more. It's just in the corner of your eye, but you're looking. There's not really much. So that is why on this one, I think we've got another one as well. Different coloured wood to just simulate a door. Like a lot of games, you just see a door, like you'll do that. You can't get in, you'll walk past. So I got that in a couple of places, and on the other side of the bridge, we have this. So when you get along, it is on this one. So as much as you have the door there, like you're going past here, you look, there's lights in there. You can't see it unless you jump, and again, it's empty. And you might have just spotted it then. The doors go to nowhere. It's just that. It's just the idea of a doorway that you can go through. One thing about this one, these two houses look like they connect. Like they're the same size. It's like, oh, you've got a hidden alleyway here. And then if you just go around the edge, you can actually see that they are different sizes. And again, so it's like a little personal balcony area. And then, like, you might put some barrels or something, just little extras on the edges. But then we've got some stalls, like a little chair, just little things to make the area alive. I figured this was like a little flower stall or something like that. On the, again, firefly bushes, so that we've got a bit of movement. I don't know why they're all the way over there when the bush is over there. But little things to keep it going, and then we have both of these. This side has this one. The other side's just empty on the middle. But, levers, they do nothing, but they're there as in the story of, if you see a ship coming, you can signal the one over there, you can flip the lever, and it'll raise the bridge. But in reality, the bridge won't raise. But it's just, again, for the story of the area. There's a couple of these as well where it's just blank in there. But again, it is just more thought. This is just a transition piece, going from that island to this island. So you don't really need much, it's just little things here and there, like a barrow, and then you've got some more flowers, firefly bushes everywhere, more bushes, more flowery area, leading onto the new island. So the new island is about the same size as the island that we're currently working on. The good thing is you can't really see most of it when you're here. Like when you're at, I think this is like the furthest point in, and you only see a little bit. So that if we're doing a completely different style in this area, which is something that I want to do to challenge myself, then especially when you're over this side, when you're in the middle of it, you're not going to see much of it. Just a bridge into the new area, and then this area that's going to be like a little arena or something like that. Not fully decided. Might rip that up and do something different. Put that somewhere else anyway. Like, there's a lot of space. End of the day, we're on infinite worlds. Or very infinite, and this is only a small area. So, next episode, we are going to finish this off. So this was going to be the guard area for training and things like that. It's going to be a big building, considering, you know, looking at the footprint of it. This is just spitballing ideas as well. And then we might, if we have time, either work on this, which is the church, this, which is the library. So this is where the library is going to go. We've got a clock tower that potentially need to put in, and pathways. So I think we're definitely going to work on a building next episode, and we might get this pathway down to here done, and then connect this pathway round here, round here, round here. So we might have more defined routes, and then we might put in more of this kind of stuff, and then look at some greenery that we can put in to make the pathways come more alive, bushes or hedges or something like that around it. But what I think I'll do is, just to leave it, is we're going to do some like day and night shots using this vibrant visuals, just to show like how it's coming along. I think, you know, especially with vibrant visuals in now, you can get some better looking stuff. So we'll put them on, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye.